Today on Art Is, we'll take you along the back roads of Alabama to meet Warren Slay, a cane maker, Wilma Ingalls, an artist who specializes in wildlife portraits, Mary Kirk Kelly, who creates beautiful ceramic vegetables, flowers, and fruit. And you will meet Ronnie Jeffers, a model train layout designer. Living the good life is more than a dream for Warren Slay. It's a reality. Every morning, Warren wakes up to a special family made up of wild deer and his dogs. After developing a love for woodworking, he decided to take up cane making as a hobby, which quickly turned into a thriving business with a long list of clients from all across America.
I've always pursued woodworking as a hobby, and the opportunity came along 8 or 9 years ago to begin to pursue turning on a lathe on a full-time basis, with canes being the objective. And from there, it was not so much learning the woodworking aspect as it was how to put it all together and make a living out of it. And I do, in an average year, about 25 art shows. My background is over the past 15, 18 years has been in lumber. I worked I operated a dry kiln for a major lumber importer and became acquainted with a variety of unusual species that I use. I like a dense and heavy species. I probably turn maybe 25, 30 species in all. And I select for density as well as unusual colors. Canes, as I understand it, evolved from the time when they were carried as an aid to mobility and also as a weapon. And along probably in the 17th century, they incorporated into a person's attire as a fashion statement. There's been countless thousands of people have made fine and unusual canes, and there's quite a market for the true antiques. I have restored a number of them for people who might only have the grip or the top left, and I've had the opportunity and a privilege of working with some most unusual pieces that will go 200, 250 years old. I use a variety of grips on my canes, antique doorknobs like this one here, and those primarily come out of private collections, particularly the nicer pieces. One can get out and find them at antique shows, flea markets, etc. But the time expended to do that for no more than you can find, it's simpler and it's more efficient to buy out of private collections. Starting with a squared piece of lumber, which you select and cut to length. You want obviously to highlight your grain patterns in the lumber. This is a piece of rosewood, and you can see the dark streak coming through here. It's going to make a sensational piece. You will want to chop off the end to get the proper length and save some of your best grain pattern. From that point, it goes in the lathe. It's turned into a round cylinder, and I'll notch out for the top and for the tip as well. It's sanded in the lathe, and the beginning of the finish is applied there. After that, the process may run 3 to 4 days, continually applying the finish. The tip and the grip will be set as one of the very last of the things that you do. People don't come to an art show looking for a cane maker. They come to an art show, arts and crafts show. They stumble across you, and it gives them an idea, primarily as a gift for someone else. And then also you run into the occasional collector who buys your more unusual pieces. Nearly 60 to 70% of what I sell is a one-time sale, and it's sold primarily as a gift, sold to one person as a gift for someone else. I guarantee a fit, and I guarantee them a product for a lifetime. But to make a living at this, you've got to establish a group of people who collect your product and who you can count on for a purchase at least once a year. It brings you a feeling of satisfaction to do something that's useful to other people. Also, each piece is unique in its own way. There really are very few that are alike, particularly when you get into antique doorknobs, gold parasol handles, things that are true antiques. I can honestly say that when I sell you a cane, that there is not another in the world like it. I sold a piece to Burt Reynolds one time, and that was a water faucet knob like this. It was kind of unusual. Mr. Reynolds came through the show, and when you sell this piece, 95% of them all say hot. Nobody wants one that says cold, and it's in general when somebody buys one that says cold, it's almost invariably bought as a gift for someone else. Burt Reynolds came through the show, looked at the two. He had a choice between hot and cold, and immediately picked cold. I noticed that it was about 3 or 4 months from that time that he and Lonnie announced they were getting their divorce. I don't really know that one thing has all that much to do with the other, but I've certainly got a lot of mileage out of the story. And I've made several pieces for individuals. Rush Limbaugh has one. I've not ever met him. Some of these come other than face-to-face encounters. It gives me the freedom to not have to punch a clock for someone else. It gives me the opportunity to be my own boss, and I like that. I'll probably never be what a lot of people consider wealthy, but I have a quiet life. I enjoy my lifestyle.
Next on Art Is, we will share with you one artist's love for painting wildlife and another artist's love for creating lifelike ceramics.